So, I have come across a very big problem in trying to remove this nut. So, in my review, I talked about how I liked this gloss over the finish here. They took the gloss over the neck and into the nut. So, my problem is this gloss is what's holding the nut in. And so now I'm going to try to collapse the nut with a little saw, like jigsaw piece by hand, and be really careful with it. But it will not tap out. It will not pull out. And I've created for myself a little bit of a problem in that some of this neck wood has been damaged because it's so difficult to get out, and the nut should not be this difficult to get out. So for somebody buying this Telecaster Deluxe thinking about modifying it, it's a huge issue, and it's a plastic nut, so when I grab it with the pliers, it just crumbles away instead of being gripped. So we're gonna try to collapse the nut. It's not collapsing. It's sawing through, but it is not collapsing in on itself, which means that they used entirely too much glue putting this in, because it should be pulling away from the walls or tapping out, and this is done so poorly. Okay, so I finally got the nut out, and it did not come out in one piece. This synthetic something nut was nuts, to say the least. They used so much glue on the inside of this headstock. I am pretty much going in here where the nut used to be now, and I'm just sanding it out because there's so much glue coming out of it. It is embarrassing, actually. That should not be this much glue, to my understanding, on a nut, and I need to clean it before I try to fit the new nut. It was flat, so I found out it is a flat bottom. But both of the nuts that I bought, both the curved, which is supposedly supposed to be a Telecaster, is too thick. And this flat one is also too thick. So I am kind of thinking one of two things. Either the other nut was also stuck because they maybe either didn't cut this out large enough, I don't know. Somebody who measures these kinds of things, maybe you'll be able to tell me. Or they just used so much glue, like it was really stuck in there. It took me 45 minutes to get that nut out, so I stopped filming. So I am now just sanding out the inside. I finally got the nut out. It was this ridiculous plastic that just kept breaking and breaking. And I'm pretty sure that they glued it in with the gloss, which made it not come out like it should have. So I bought 2 nuts to replace it, both GraphTech black tusk nuts. I tried to shape the flat one, and the flat one, I messed it up, so I'm glad I bought 2 of them. And I actually, using the curved one, it was a lot easier to fit to this Telecaster, so I'd recommend buying the curved. I recommend buying this 5000. Black Tusk 5000 is the curved one, because it was just less shaping I had to do to make it fit. And so what I was doing was just making sure that it fit into the slot. I put the strings on just to make this easier, because the strings are gonna hold the nut down once I glue it. And I'm gonna use this Gorilla wood glue there. You really don't need a lot. And I'm actually gonna apply it with a toothpick. I'm just gonna dab it, put it into the nut slot, and then I'll put the nut back in and tighten the strings. Not to tune, don't tighten them down to tune, but tighten them down so they can hold the nut in there. And then we should be all done with this. Oh, what I did is I took this sticky 180 grit sandpaper. It's sticky on one end. I put it on a flat surface, and that's how I made sure that my nut was ground down, filed down flat. And the edges here don't fit exactly, so after I take it off here, I'm gonna sand this down a little bit and get it to where it matches the fingerboard a little bit more. And I'm actually going to take some painter's tape and tape this off and then sand it down after I paint it. Painter's tape it.